We don't do waste in this craft room, we use everything.
Hello and welcome back to Today We Craft. Now, one of my very oldest friends is very excitingly having a baby soon. And so of course I'm going to make the most classic of all baby gifts, a baby blanket. I know that a baby blanket isn't the most imaginative of gifts, but it's that or a bottle of gin. I might give them both. The sort of blanket that we're going to make today is really simple and is the sort of thing that you can do very easily even as a beginner sewer. So let's get started. For your baby blanket you will need printed cotton fabric. I've got this lovely one with knights and dragons on it. Wadding. This is a super soft machine washable bamboo wadding. And fabric for the back. Pick something really soft. To start off with, you need to decide how big your blanket's going to be. The piece of wadding that I have happens to be 24 inches wide, so that's the measurement that I'm going to start with. And to make it a nice proportioned rectangle, I'm going to cut it so it's 30 inches. I'm not entirely confident that this bottom edge is straight, so I'm just going to straighten it up using a ruler and a roller cutter. This cutting mat is so incredibly useful. If you're interested in where I got it from, I'll leave a link in the top corner of the video right here. Now that I have this bottom straight edge, I can do the same with the sides. Ta-da! Nice and straight. Mark your long measurement with a marker pen or a piece of tailor's chalk if that makes it easier. Once you've cut out your wadding, you need to cut out your cotton the same size. Now when you come to cut your minky or other soft fabric, you want to leave a 2-inch allowance all around the edge of the border. This is because we're going to be folding it over and it's going to bind its own edge. Now before we get any further, we want to make sure that we're going to have nice, neat, mitered corners on our blanket. So what we're going to do is we're going to first measure a 1/2 inch away from the tip of the printed cotton, like that. And then we're going to chop off this corner at a 45-degree angle. Now there are a couple of ways that you can attach your cotton fabric to the wadding. One is that you can use a spray adhesive, let that dry and that'll stick to it. Another way is to use a fusible interfacing. You can also quilt your baby blanket by stitching either straight lines or following contours on whatever it is the design. You know what, since my iron is out, I think I'm actually going to interface this. So this is how it comes on a paper roll, and it's basically got iron-onable glue. I would probably use the spray adhesive if I was doing this again. But I have fusible interfacing, it works really well, so let's do that.
We don't do waste in this craft room, we use everything.
Cool, so I'm just going to let that cool and then we'll be ready to peel off. Now if you were the sort of child, strange child, like me, who used to put PVA glue on their hands and then peel it off, you're gonna love this bit. There you go, so that's now nicely covered with bond web. Now I'm going to lay this on top of my wadding. This only works because it's a natural fibre, because it's bamboo. If you're using a synthetic fibre, do not iron this. And now our cotton is stuck to our wadding. Now's the time to get the sewing machine involved. Okay, so take your minky fabric and where we've cut off the corners, I can find one there, we're going to, with right sides together, fold it back on itself, and we're going to sew along this seam, leaving a 1/2 inch seam allowance. You can pin it, but I find quilting clips much easier. Don't worry about getting it 100% right. Minky fabric stretches and is very forgiving. A bit caught there, but that'll do. Now repeat that on the other 4 corners. So now what's going to happen is that when we turn it inside out, we're going to have a nice, neat corner. Clever, huh? Turn out all 4 corners and lay it right side down on a table. Then take your wadding and cotton and place it inside. Make sure the corners go right into the corners of the minky fabric. And your blanket will look like this. What we need to do now is just turn over the edge of the minky to create a nice, neat finish. You can measure this or do it by eye. I like to do it by eye because I am lazy. Start off with the corners because these can be the trickiest bit. Like I said, minky fabric is very forgiving. Once we've finished pinning, we're just going to run a single line of stitching as close to the edge as we can. And that is the finished baby blanket. We've got some really nice neat corners, stitching on the edge, and it's lovely and soft and perfect for the newborn. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave me a thumbs up. If this is your first time on the channel, then I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button and also the little bell notification to find out when we release future videos. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And we also love to hear ideas of things that you'd like us to show you how to make. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time. If you have a moment, here's some more videos that we think you might enjoy.